Hi all, I'm Jabakruba Roslin. I'm happy to welcome you all to my yet another video. Today we are going to see benchmarking part 2 from the subject Total Quality Management. Already I have uploaded the benchmarking part 1 video. Check out the card for part 1 video if you haven't watched that. In this video we are going to see benchmarking process, its benefits and pitfalls. Without further delay, let's get into the video. Let's have a short revision about what is benchmarking. Benchmarking is defined as the process of measuring products, services, and processes against those of the organization known to be leaders in one or more aspect of their operations. When we want of immediate result and breakthrough performance, we can follow the strategies of companies who have already excelled in it instead of devising our own strategy that may or may not be welcomed by the customer. It is always wise to go for benchmarking when we are looking for immediate results. That's a short intro about benchmarking, and let us get into the individual topics. First, we are going to see benchmarking process. There are many versions of benchmarking steps used by different successful organizations. The AT&T company has 12 steps, Xerox uses 10, Alva has 6, and other recommend 7 or 8 steps. The organization adapt the process that fits best to their own culture and needs. However, the benchmarking process proposed by Robert C. Camp in 1989 with 12 steps is widely used, and we are going to discuss that process today. He has categorized the 12 steps in 5 different phases. Let's see one by one. The first phase of benchmarking is planning. As we all know, a work well planned is half done, and it is applicable for benchmarking too. At the phase of planning, we have 3 important steps to do. They are: first, earmark what is to be benchmarked. The improvement in business can be done in different aspects. It is always wise to deal one at a time. So, in the planning phase, first we have to decide what we are going to benchmark. Suppose if you take a car, we can benchmark the speed, mileage, safety, comfort, etc. In that, we are going to earmark any one in this stage. After earmarking what we are going to benchmark, now we have to decide whom we are going to benchmark. Out of the multiple competitors, we have to pick one who is excelling in that criteria. After fixing what and who of benchmark, next we have to decide how we are going to get the information for doing benchmarks, and we have to start doing that in simple. In this step, we have to identify the way for collecting data and start collecting it. The second phase of benchmarking is analysis. After collecting the necessary data for benchmarking, we have to start our analysis. There are 2 important steps to be performed in the analysis stage. First, we have to determine the current performance gap. That is, how much we are staying behind in that particular criteria. In the next step, we have to project the future performance level. That is, we have to fix the target level we are planning to reach. The next phase is integration. In this phase, the benchmark findings are integrated as operational targets. It involves careful planning to incorporate new practices in the operation and ensure that the benchmark findings are incorporated in all formal planning process. To integrate, first we have to communicate benchmark finding and gain acceptance. That is, we have to demonstrate the benchmark findings to the management for their acceptance. And also, we need to communicate the same to the people involved in different levels to obtain their support, commitment, and ownership. Next, we have to establish functional goals based on the communicated data and acceptance of analysis so that we can achieve them through benchmarking process. The next phase is action. The action phase is bringing the proposed strategy into action, and it involves the following 3 steps. In this phase, first we have to transform functional goals into concrete action plans. The action plan should answer the questions like: when should be the action implemented, which action should be implemented, how can changes successfully implemented, and so on. So in this stage we have to find answer for all the questions arising in our mind that brings idea into implementation. Next, we have to implement the proposed action one by one and monitor the performance of the action. So that is, we have to decide that whether the desired action is giving us the desired result. Since benchmarking is a continuous quality improvement tool, we have to recalibrate the benchmark again and again until we attain the goal. So suppose we are proposing a target level, we work hard for reaching the target level, and if we feel that this is not sufficient to attract the customer or this is not sufficient to reach the success level, we have to recalibrate and propose our action again and again to be successful. The last stage is the maturity stage. When we properly carry out all the above phases, we reach the maturity phase. In this phase, we have two steps. First, we shall continue the benchmarking position until we attain the leadership position. We have to keep benchmarking again and again. Suppose, for example, we are dealing with a mobile phone and we want to reach a best camera quality. So, until and otherwise, the people certify our brand as the best brand for the camera quality, we have to keep the benchmarking process again and again to reach the leadership level. After attaining the leadership position, we have to integrate the benchmarking practices into our routine processes. So, the benchmarking practices, once we adapted to attain the leadership level, that has not to be stopped at a particular stage. We have to bring that process into our daily routine, practices into the daily routine, and you have to continue that forever. So, next, let us see about the benefits of benchmarking.
Taste the success once. Taste success once. Taste the success once.
Yes, benchmarking helps to transform
Taste
the
success
culture of
once.
organization and make everyone to work towards continuous improvement.
Taste the success
So once we
once.
have attained the leadership position through benchmarking,
Taste
so
success
it has
once.
helped us to taste the success in being the leader.
Taste the
And we
success
always
once.
get a habit of doing improvement again and again
Taste
to
success
retain the leadership
once.
level. It also helps us to prioritize the area that need immediate improvement. I know we may be in need of many areas to be addressed for improvement, but benchmarking helps us to identify those areas which has to be addressed immediately and followed by. Next, it helps to share the best practices between benchmarking partners. Benchmarking partners are those organizations who are performing best in class by doing the benchmarking. We share the same with them. Benchmarking also supports us to increase sensitivity to external environmental changes. Any changes happens in the external environment, we are able to address that immediately by the practice of benchmarking. Benchmarking enhance our level of creativity by helping us to integrate best practices into the process. It also helps us in shifting the corporate mindset to strong sense of urgency. That is, make us implement immediate action plans. Benchmarking helps us in focusing on the necessary resources through fixing the performance target. In spite of the success rate of benchmarking, it also has certain pitfalls. The success of benchmarking is based on what we learn from others instead of developing our own new and improved approaches. So, it will not give us a sustained competitive advantage. And when all the company in an industry benchmarking each other, then it will lead us to a stagnation stage where no new ideas or strategies can be witnessed. Hence, though it is helpful, benchmarking should never be the primary strategy for improvement. It should be a substitute for innovation and must be a mere improvement tool. By this, we are concluding the topic of benchmarking. I have tried the maximum to bring the topic easy to your level. Hope it is helpful to you. Kindly share the video with your contacts. They may also get benefited from that. For more such useful videos on different management topics, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.